Yeah, A Place, the title of the project, Linking Places through Network Artistic Practices. This is an idea that came already 5 years ago. So it has been a long project, 4 years of work of all of these different organizations. This is a Creative Europe project. It's a cooperative project. That means that it tries to bring together partners from different backgrounds in order to focus on some creative activities. So this is the third and the last closing event. There has been 2 before. The first one was in Brussels in May, and then it was followed by another one in Barcelona, in Hospitalet, in June, and now we have the third and final one here. So the idea of these closing events, how we thought them in the program, was to make a reflection at the end, to present to the community, people interested in this topic, our work, and also for us to reflect on the work we have done.
This, what I'm going to show you, I was questioning myself how space can produce trauma, or how some events in space producing trauma, or how places or spaces or architecture or urbanism make our identities, who implies narratives of the spaces, many other questions like what bothering me, how I see mistakes in places, how do I know if place is good energy or bad energy, how we channelize atmosphere, how we can talk about the atmospheres of the cities, how, I don't know, how we memorize space.
The placemaking, in principle, historically, it's a movement that comes from the 60s, 50s, from Jane Jacobs. It's kind of it's kind of grassroots movement precisely against this development of the city in the hands of investors, exploitation of the value of the land, and so on. Historically, this happened already 60 years ago, more or less. We are still, I think, in that historical thread 60 years later. And with regard to the relation to politics, I mean, we have to define what is politics here. This discussion, politics is the institutionalized politics. I mean, the municipalities, the governments that, in a way, have certain capacity to control. Or policy is also the big investors that, through policy, also achieve their goals. So there is an interaction there between pure politics, like municipalities, for example, and the economic powers that are trying to get interest from the land and from the cities. And the relation between both in these 60 years, I think, has changed almost 180 degrees, because along this time we have seen issues like tactical urbanism appearing, also like trying to give the people the power, the right to the city that Lefebvre was talking also 60, 70 years ago. And now, from being a kind of a leftist, reivindicative movement, grassroots, it has become to the point that tactical urbanism is part of the political program of some cities, and we are seeing that in Europe. So it's like the question is, when something that indeed tries to, from the origin, go against institutions, becomes institutionalized, what happened to that process?
Quando eu era pequenina, a minha mãe dizia-me: professora dizia-me: andas sempre com a cabeça na lua. Mas o que eu gostava mesmo era de andar com a cabeça nas nuvens.
Inventiveness. In which places can it be found between art and education? Inventiveness tries and searches through an open position to formulation and encouragement of new questions, to bring to the stage a discussion regarding learning and art. The concept of inventiveness as a place of expression and autonomy, of gestures and speeches of each of our own childhood. Which places are these? Will they be forgotten or long-lasting places kept in our sensorial memories? Which places and times do we find between art and education for our own inventiveness? Is there a time and space to invent? To have our head in a cloud? When I had my head in the clouds, I imagined and invented amazing stories. And all the stories I invented were true. So, which truth could this be?
Really, the more I got into the project, the more I would love to get inside, because I think this project has infinite nuances and can be landed in different disciplines and really breaking walls between them. So I'm going to share my point of view, our point of view, from the side of a platform like Loop that promotes is dedicated to the study and promotion of video art. That is like a format of contemporary art. The festival is a series of proposals related with the moving image that appears in that we said we like to define it like a moving image on site, because it has like 80 venues in Barcelona. The program is a collaborative proposal that take form of exhibition, performance, installation, live performance through to the city. And the idea, the aim is to promote video art at the local level. So the fair has a specialized, really specialized public, and the festival has a no specialized public. It's for a wider audience and to give back to the city the video art fair.
I think the main goal of the project is not to give answers about some kind of landscape. It's more give tools of reading the landscape, and the individual with that tools, reading tools, can get some that interpretation and
There's no right view.
yes, of course.
There's no right view. In none of these activities, we try to give a right thing to see, to perceive. No, you have your own perception, and that's why it's easier to work with children, because they are more open, because they are not so steady with the ideas. So it's easier to talk, to give them awareness of not the good and bad. It's not our idea, the good and bad, but of be aware of.
idea of the place, the absolute place, that is not the expected place. It was actually difficult at the time. What was difficult for me was thinking the place in the context of Moravia, for example. How do I find the connection?
Vamos, mãe. Somos, vamos.